Aloha everyone, it's Mitchell Ornelas, osteopathic family physician here in Seattle, Washington, coming at you for another journal video. So just kind of getting right into it, talking through this week. It's the last full week of community medicine. Monday, it was a pretty busy clinic day. I had a full day, took some walk-ins in the morning, and it's actually kind of a lot. And looking at it, it was like reflecting on like trying to increasing my flow, my efficiency, working with my nurses and MAs. I'm still gaining experience, and some of the MAs I was working with are still gaining experience as well. They're new to the clinic, so for me, it's learning how to, chart review, prep myself. What can I do in the room that's quicker, and how can I utilize my resources? And then after that, we had intern retreat that night, so that was good, hanging out with my interns and kind of meeting up again. It was a nice check-in. Now we're like halfway through the intern year. Yeah, so it was a good experience, us hanging out, just having that time that was just for us. And also in the morning, we had time to spend together at one of our co-residents' place, so that was really good. See how we're all doing, helping each other out. Ate some breakfast together. And then in the afternoon, we had OB intensive prenatal didactics, and that was mainly an overview of obstetrics and preparing us to now being able to see prenatal visits in clinic. So that was like the last area that was that we needed to get training on. So now we can see OB and prenatal visits in the clinic, which is great. Kind of going over all those things like gestational diabetes and labs to order, and a lot of the red flags, warning signs, and then we had a little bit of time to figure out specifically like in our clinics how things work. So that was great for me to hear. A lot of it's just going to be like getting in there and experiencing it and learning how the paperwork works, and understanding the different types of patients that we have and having good follow-up the best we can. So that was a good experience. And then Wednesday I was able to do a tour. So being on this outpatient block, I was able to do a interview tour for applicants that were coming through. So it was a full day, and it's interesting to reflect on that because it was just about a year ago when I interviewed here, and now I'm in that role. And mainly the role I had was just escorting the group. We had a couple different groups in the morning, and then we had like a big afternoon group. Without getting into too much details, but just seeing all the different clinics that we have at Cherry Hill and all the things we have to offer, getting to know a lot of the applicants. Some of the native applicants is great, being able to connect, share my story, and realize that how much I actually do know, and how much information I'm able to give a lot of these medical students that are applying. It was nice to kind of think about that and reflect on it. And for part of me, like, I don't know if I know that much, but then once you start answering questions, there's like, okay, I kind of know a fair amount, and you're on the other side of it now, so it's interesting. But it's mostly just connecting with each clinic, with the people that are at each clinic that I was able to do a tour for a lot of these applicants, and yeah, hanging out with them, eating breakfast, eating lunch with them. It was a good experience. It was good to kind of reflect and look back on like how far I've come, made it through medical school, all that kind of stuff, and now on the other side of it, like I was saying. And then Thursday I had clinic in the morning. Wasn't too busy. I had complex patient that I'm now working with. Patient just recently came back to us at the clinic, and there's a lot of things going on, and a lot of things I'm trying to piece by piece go through, and it was a good patient for me to work with. I just anticipate a lot of things can go certain ways, and working with different specialists as needed for some of our medically complex patients can be challenging, but it's a good learning experience for me, and to do my best to find all the resources available for these patients. Anticipate seeing this patient frequently. So I had time, which was good, and I was able to kind of have a think through some things, and hopefully I have that time in the future as well as needed. And I feel like some of these continuity patients that I start seeing more and more, it does, in realizing that this is family medicine, I do see how it gets easier as you know patients. When you're walking in the room, you're not so blind about things. You can recall your previous visits, and it just adds on to what you know and what you're planning to do, and work with the patient as far as an idea for that visit, or each of those new visits. So that's pretty good. And then the other big thing I was able to do this weekend was visit my family in Hawaii. So that was really good. Visit my significant other. Being that this is like my last weekend, had some time. The last weekend before I go back onto an inpatient, back onto family medicine service. So I just got back, and I'm very thankful to have that time and be able to work with family to help me get there, to come visit and come back. Even though it's a short amount of time, it really helps to be able to come back and check in. And again, reflecting, like, it's been 6 months since I was out there when I graduated from medical school with AT still, and just being back on Oahu, specifically thinking about all the places that I've been and where I lived, looking at the old neighborhood and reflecting on all those things is very makes me really appreciate everything I've been through, and not to forget those moments and struggles and triumphs and all those types of things, and my life that I had in Hawaii for the last 3 years of medical school. Be able to see my family there and spend time with everyone as much as I could, and that was great. And now we're back in Seattle, so I have a kind of like a split week. I'm finishing up community medicine, so I have clinic tomorrow, and then Tuesday I do a little bit more food bank, and then I have didactics, and then I go into family medicine service. I think I start with, day call, short call, maybe short call, day call, clinic, because then I actually go into night starting Saturday. So I'm on that block for family medicine service. So getting right into it. I'm excited to get back into it. I definitely feel like I utilized my time during this community medicine block. I was able to do some important life things and check out different resources in the community that this rotation offers. So I'm very thankful for that. And kind of transitioned into like growing in clinic, I think has been happening during this block as well. So I think that's been good. But yeah, I think that kind of covers it for a lot of the big things. We're halfway through the year. We're checking in with our advisors, doing those types of things. So it'll be good to reflect on what I've known, what I've learned, and what I have to come forward in this year. And seeing how I'm progressing and studying, trying to study and balance that. We did get one of our scores back from, we had to do this test to see how we're doing for, like, as far as planning for the family medicine board in the future for us, for sure. But and actually did pretty good on it, so that was exciting to get news on that. Hopefully that continues to grow and keep moving forward, taking it day by day and just doing our best. But yeah, so get right into it. So all right, keep it mission minded, keep it indigenous minded. Aloha.